I honestly don't know if we could have had a more boring outcome to tonight's episode. We had another member of the committee win at HOH, and once again, they just go and target stragglers. Like, what? How can this season be scripted any worse than how things have played out? You know, I've seen a lot of talk about the pregame alliances online and essentially how they have ruined this season. And it is very true. The triple eviction can't come soon enough because we have got to get to a point where these house guests are actually making moves. Like, just absolutely nothing has happened. And it even blows my mind that Cody hasn't used this HOH to set him up for a deeper run in the show. Like, why not go? You don't even have to make a big move. Why not go and set yourself up with a solid group of, say, 4 that you're comfortable working with till the end? Or a group of 5. Like, why not start drawing those lines in the sand to say, hey, we're not going to be working with Danny anymore. Danny is out. We're not going to be working with Christmas anymore. Christmas is out. You don't have to nominate them. They don't have to go out. But set yourself up, because the next HOH, people will have to be targeting each other. It is just inevitable. And you don't want to be on the outside looking in when that happens. Honestly, I would have thought that if pretty much any other member of the committee had won HOH this week, that they would have been more into the idea of targeting one of their own. It's just disheartening that we just have another week, we have another boring HOH, we have the HOH target the 2 weakest competitors in the entire season, and that it's just like, well, just fast forward till Thursday, because this week it is a done deal and it's over. Like even if somebody wins the veto, I just don't see there being enough of a push or a move to actually vote whoever is the replacement nominee out. So yeah, it doesn't matter, but yeah, let's get to this triple eviction as soon as possible. I just want to talk about Kevin briefly. I don't know what went through his head tonight, but what a total disaster. What was he thinking? Like, he's like, oh, I gotta go and have the conversation with Cody. Like, if that is the way you're gonna approach a conversation with someone, don't go and have that conversation. When you walk into that room just filled with hate and negativity towards that other person, how do you expect that conversation to go? Cody wasn't really offering anything to Kevin in that conversation. It was just like, yep, that's right. And then all of a sudden Kevin is just, well, the world doesn't revolve around you, Cody. And it's like, how did you, in a conversation with yourself, elevate the conversation that hard, that fast, that quickly, to the point where, even if Cody hadn't been thinking about nominating Kevin, after that conversation, he's got no choice to not only nominate him, but also target him, because you can't go and just like have that conversation and just eviscerate the other person when they hold all the power. It makes no sense. And I guess this is the end of Blanket Boy. He does have a chance to win the veto, and that is his only chance to stick around in this game. I'm a firm believer that you need to keep people like David and Kevin around in Big Brother, because no one is going to vote for them to win in the final 2. And on top of that, they're overall weak competitors that the majority of the people left in the house, excluding Nicole, can beat in almost any kind of competition. So why wouldn't you want to keep that person in the house? Because sitting beside a Kevin or a David in the final 2 just guarantees that you're going to be the winner of Big Brother. That's about all I've got to say about that. Let's go back to the actual HOH. Before we saw Cody hit that shot and land it in the 2 to win the HOH. It was looking like we were just going to randomly have like a David HOH, and I would have been very interested to see that, just to watch, to see how manipulated he was going to get by all of the other house guests. You know it was going to happen, and he wasn't going to be able to stand on his own 2 feet because he hasn't made a game move all season long. And why would he start now this late in the season? You know, there's always those people who just ride the coattails or are just total floaters that make it deep into the game. And I think we're going to see David stick around for quite a while here, because why would you vote him out? Why? Like, he's a person that I feel like I could walk into the house and just sit down and have one conversation with him and convince him that I was on his side, no matter what else I was doing, whether it was true or not. That's just the vibe I get from him, and that's all I got to say about David. It was interesting to see how many people didn't want to win this HOH. Like, so we saw so many people, they're like, I don't want it. I don't want this HOH. And that was very strange to me, because we're just at the point where those alliances have got to start breaking. And to not want to be the one in the power when that happens is very bizarre to me, because, you know, we have like Danny, Nicole, Memphis, Christmas. They're all people who very easily could have thrown this HOH and then find themselves sitting on the block on Thursday and heading out. Now, we did have Cody win, and that's just, as I said earlier, the most boring outcome that we could have had. So, a lot of what ifs, but if we could go back and do all our what ifs from the start of the season, we would have never, ever, ever let things slide to the point they are. I am excited for Thursday, so we can finally start to get to see some actual gameplay. And I wish that the triple eviction had come earlier, because this season is desperately in need of a shakeup. All right, everybody, I think that is all I want to talk about tonight. As always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, we'll see you later.